Welcome to a new edition of the Neon Jazz interview series with jazz composer and bandleader Rodrigo Faina. We caught up with him in late January 2021 to talk about his latest 2021 CD, Different Roots. We also covered COVID-19 and his life in music. His music often transcends conventional and outdated genre distinctions. He blends the techniques of new music and the traditions of jazz, tango, and other popular genres into a very lush, progressive, and evocative sound world, distinctively all his own. Get to know him. Dig this interview.
Yeah, good. Thank you, Joe. How are you?
I'm good, man. Thanks for taking a minute out for Neon Jazz.
No, thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, my pleasure, man. So we're in the middle of a pretty intense time on Earth with the pandemic, and you have a new CD, Different Roots, out. Talk to me a little bit about releasing this album.
Well, it's a strange time to release an album because you have different feelings, because in a way you are full of joy and happy that finally the album is out. But on the other hand, you feel a little bit frustrated, because you cannot do any live gigs. And there's other feelings, sometimes you feel a little bit panic, like, okay, and what am I going to do now, or how things will move forward, Especially with an album like this that is an album for large ensemble. So there was 23 musicians playing in the album, and it takes a lot of work, from writing the music, producing, putting the people together, and everything. It feels good, but strange at the same time.
So talk to me a little bit about where you're located and how everything's going there right now.
At the moment, I'm located in Madrid. I kind of divide my life a little bit between Spain and Holland, between Rotterdam and Madrid. I teach here at the university, so I was kind of here when things started, even from before, and things are. It's a little bit, it's bad, and I think that the worst part of it is that it changes, when sometimes you get some hope, like some things start to appear and reopen, and you think, okay, you see the light at the end of the tunnel, or you hear about the vaccination and everything, and suddenly, next day or the other week, things go really backwards. For example, today we were hearing that they are going to close areas of the city, and that some states in Spain cannot leave the state, So it's complicated. In general, I'm fine, and things in Madrid are fine, but I think that the general feeling is strange because everything you do daily, it feels like this, and you spend a lot of time at home, so it's hard.
Yeah, I bet. So how did everything start for you in music and jazz?
Well, in music I started playing guitar, and I started a little bit with kind of beginning with jazz. I mean, I play some rock, when you're a kid and you take a guitar. But then it happened that I am from Buenos Aires, but from outside the city, like an hour and a half, 2 hours from the city center. And there's an area that there are not many musicians, actually. And one of the teachers that I just, you call by chance, you're like a teenager and you want to start to play guitar. And my teacher was very much into jazz, and especially at that time into fusion, to play in like jazz rock and those kind of things. So he was the one that, awake this interest for jazz music. So he started to give me, some records to listen, and that was really the beginning. And from then on, I did several things. A little bit. This CD is in a way a little bit about this, because what I noticed when I went out of Argentina is that jazz in Argentina, or at least on that time, it meant mainly also like a way to approach music, So when I wanted to get more serious, for example, I went to the conservatory there of popular music, and then you have like Brazilian music and tango music and folk music, and you also have jazz. So those things kind of mix, but jazz was always my, especially at that time, I was in love of it since the beginning. I think that the first thing that it hit me was a record from Kenny Wheeler that's called "The Widow in the Window." My teacher gave me a cassette, and I think that I was as a guitar player, listening to John Abercrombie on that record was really something.
So what do you like the best about being a musician?
I think that I can, like for some moments, I don't know, like go out of this world. It's something that transport me somewhere else. It fills me with joy, and it gives me calm. So really, when I'm writing music or playing music, it's this feeling of happiness and in peace inside, and that's more inwards, and also the possibility that music gave me of, for example, other things like traveling and meeting a lot of people from around the world, especially when I moved to Europe. I went to Amsterdam to study there, and that was amazing, because I met a lot of young people from really all over the world, doing the same thing that I love the most, and the feeling of music, and the music community, that was very important for me. So I think that those things are the things I love about being a musician the most.
So when we do get back to music, and after COVID slows down, what do you hope we all realize about live music when we get back?
I also have like a different, I imagine different things depending on the day, but I think that my most positive thoughts are about how important live music it is for us as human beings, like socially, how much it gives us in terms of happiness. So I have these, images of musicians playing live, and a theater or a club pack of people having a good time, and also a little bit like realizing, okay, I didn't know that I missed this so much, because it's been really a lot of months without live music. And there's a lot of talking, about, okay, well, the new normal or things like this. And we get a lot of streaming shows, which is great. It's really great that happens. But, you don't get the same feeling, like spiritually and the energy that you get from a live performance. So I hope that we all are going to be back, and we are going to be back at our best, that we will have the best gigs in our life, and that people will have really, really good time.
So everyone has a perception of who you are, or who they think you are, your family, your friends, your fans, but you're the one that's living your life. Who do you think you are?
This is really, really, really tough question.
Yeah.
I think that I'm mainly a composer. That's not something that, I don't know to say that defines me, because I think we are many things, but really music, and especially for me, writing music, it has been always the center of my life, pursuing somehow happiness through music. So that I think that people perceive me a little bit like that, and I feel like that. I feel very much as a composer, but also, I mean, one of the reasons also I got into music, it's because I think it has a very important social value, that music, it's a little bit hippie, the thought, but that music make us better. So I'm very involved also in education, and so I also feel like a teacher, and that very little, but I can help to make things also a little bit better for everyone with music, and sharing the things that other people gave me in music.
Wonderful. Hey, man, thank you for taking some time out for Neon Jazz today. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you, Joe, for contacting me.
Thanks for listening and tuning in to another Neon Jazz interview. We give you a bit of insight into the finest cats in Spain, Holland, Kansas City, and spots all over the world, giving fans all that jazz. And thanks to Rodrigo for his time, music, and story. If you want to hear more interviews, go to Famous Interviews with Joe Domino in the iTunes Store. Visit neonjazz at youtube.com. And for everything Neon Jazz all the time, go to the neonjazz.blogspot.com. Until next time, enjoy the jazz, my friends.
Neon Jazz.